Module 3, Lesson 34. Multiply two-digit multiples of 10 by two-digit numbers using a place value chart. Let's look at our application problem. Mr. Kometz planted 10 rows of squash, 10 rows of tomatoes, and 10 rows of cucumbers in his garden. He put 22 plants in each row. Draw an area model, label each part, then write an expression that represents the total number of plants in the garden. So what I did is I drew a model. We have squash, tomatoes, and cucumbers. There's 10 rows of each. That gives us 30 rows altogether. There were 22 plants in each row. I can take 30 and say 3 times 10 times 22. Okay, that would be my expression. Now, as we go on further, we're going to learn how to solve an expression that is 20 times 32 because our multiple of 10 is 30, and here's our two-digit number. So let's take a look at this. 3 times 10 times 22, or 30 times 22. Okay, here's the model I had on the previous page. Now we're going to use a place value chart to multiply 30 times 22. So I took 10 and I put 3 times 22 in parentheses. So I put 2 10s and 2 1s, and then I multiplied them each by 3. So now I have 3 sets. Then I went and I multiplied each by 10, so that means they're each moving over to the left on the place value chart, to the one that's the next largest place. So I have 6 10s here, or 6 hundreds here, 6 10s, and 0 1s. So 10 times 3 times 22 is 660. Let's try it a different way. 3 times 10 times 22. So here I have my 22. I'm going to multiply them each by 10. So they each move over to the left. So now I have 2 hundreds, 2 10s, and 0 1s. But now I have to take each one and I'm multiplying it by 3. So I'm going to take this times 3 is 3. This one times 3 is 3. And I do the same thing here. This one I multiply by 3, so I have a total of 3. Then I have to multiply the other one times 3. And now I have a total of 6, 660. There are some different ways you can write 30 times 22. You're going to notice that I keep moving the parentheses. I keep grouping it a little bit differently. I can say 3 times 10 times 22, 3 times 10, and put the 10 and 22 together, or 10 times, and I group 3 and 22. You can move the parentheses around, but you're still going to get, in the end, the same product. Okay, let's look at 50 times 31 using a place value chart. So let's think of other ways to express 50 times 31. Well, you could take, say, 10 and then put 5 times 31 in parentheses, or you could take 5 out and say 10 times 31. I did it a couple different ways to show you what it looks like. So here we have 5 times 10 times 31. So I have my 31 in my place value chart, and I've got it grouped with a 10. So I'm going to multiply that by 10. So 3 10s becomes 3 hundreds, 1 1 becomes 1 10. So I've done that. Then I have to multiply each one by 5. So I'm going to take this disk, multiply it by 5. Well, that gives me 5, because 1 times 5 is 5. I have to take this one, multiply it by 5. That gives me another row of 5. And the third one I have to multiply by 5. That gives me another row of 5. I now have 15 hundreds right here. Now I had this one and I multiplied it by 10, so now I have 110. If I multiply 110 times 5, well, now I have 5 10s. So I have 1,500 5 tens or 50, no ones. 1,500 plus 50 is 1,550 or 1,550. Let's look at it here. I have 10 times 5 times 31. So I put my 31, 3 tens, 1 1. Then I multiplied each one of them by 5. Then I took and multiplied each one of those times 10. So my 5 ones then became 5 tens or 50. My 15 tens multiplied by 10 became 15 hundreds. I still get 1,550 as my product. 50 times 31. My 3 tens, my 1 1, that gives me 31 times 50. Well, 1 times 50 is 50, so I have 5 tens. 3 tens times 50, well 3 times 5 is 15, 15 hundreds. I still have 1,550. Okay, let's practice without the place value chart. 50 times 31. Well, 31 is really 30 plus 1. I can break that down and put that in the parentheses. So I have 50 times 30 plus 1. I'm going to now multiply the 30 times the 50 and the 1 times the 50. And I'm going to draw, I drew arrows to help me. 50 times 30 is 1,500. 50 times 1 is 50. 1,500. Okay, let's look at another one. 40 times 36. Well, 36 is 30 plus 6. So, I'm going to distribute the 40. 40 times 30 is 1,200. 40 times 6 is 240. 40 times 36 is 1,440. Problem number 6, 50 times 48. I keep my multiple of 10 out here, then I take this number and I can take out 40, that just leaves 8, so I've got another multiple of 10. So we can multiply multiples of 10 together. 50 times 40 is 2,000. 50 times 8 is 400. So 50 times 48 is 2,400. Boys and girls, I want to go back to this one example. I didn't add both of these. Your answer for this one should have been 1,550 because each one of the ways I showed you before was 1,550. Okay, I just did not add these. I just simply wrote that down. So 50 times 31 is 1,550.